Exploring the Northwest, finding the perfect pint. What is not to like when you're rambling around? Welcome to RV Out West. I'm your host, Brooks. My family of four's base camp is located in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and our RV adventures radiate out from there. Please grab a mug of coffee and join us as we discuss RVing around the American West. From sweet camping spots, gear and equipment, to tips and tricks, we've got you covered. We are RV Out West. The Pacific Northwest is a great place to RV. I don't need to tell you why. You get it. It's magical. And I sure hope you continue to perpetuate the lie that it's rainy, gray, wet, damp, and dismal for at least 12 months out of the year. Okay, maybe I'm not 100% honest here, but you get it, and you get me. RVing in the Pacific Northwest is amazing. It's rad, to say the least. And our guests today are born and raised Northwesterners and have a lot of great information to share about their rambling around these here parts. Ron and Jody, thank you so much for joining us here on RV Out West.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Yeah, well, this is going to be great.
Yeah, we're excited.
Why don't you just tell me a bit about yourselves and kind of how you guys met and where's base camp for you and kind of where are you just generally located?
We grew up in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, primarily like in Southwest Washington, Portland metro area. We ran in the same circles, and once in a while the circles would collide. And I was working at a movie theater. Jody got hired on, and so we had a little chemistry going there, and that kind of flourished. That's how we met. And then it just kind of, went from there to, well, let's go to college together. Let's, we liked running around the Pacific Northwest. So just backtracking a little bit, we're going to the beach. We went to the mountains. We went to the gorge. We went everywhere within about 100-mile radius when we were first dating. And then later on, we went up.
Yeah, some of our first dates were actually going to the beach, Seaside, Oregon. That's one of our earlier videos we did. And then we also went to Mount St. Helens, hiking Mount St. Helens. So a lot of our first dating was just exploring the Pacific Northwest together. And then we both went to college in Portland. Some of our first years, we also lived up towards the Canadian border in Bellingham, Washington. Yeah, so that's how we met generally, and we just flourished from there. And we really love the Pacific Northwest. And when we learned more about different areas of the Pacific Northwest, when we were up there, we went up to Mount Baker all the time. We went over to the Cascades. Oh, the Cascades. And I remember going through Lake Diablo or the different rivers along there.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, like turquoise color.
Yeah, when we branched out, because every place that we lived, we just kind of just explore the area, and we'd see a different type of geography within Washington. And we honestly fell in love with every place that we lived because we explored it. We took advantage of that area. And not a lot of people do that. They just kind of, stay put. But we had a great time everywhere. We have good memories from every place that we lived.
Oh, yes.
So share with me a little bit, because you guys are not full-timers. You guys are weekenders, maybe with goals to go full-time. But what got the two of you into RVing?
And so we used to tent camp a lot. We grew up tent camping. We did that a lot when we were together at the beginning. Some of our first dates were in our tent.
Mm-hmm.
And then even with the children, we took the children tent camping. That's just how we grew up. And then when we later on in life, we started hanging out with some of our friends, they would go to these music festivals. And us getting older, most people like to go to the music festivals in a comfortable trailer camper. So we actually rented Friends's at first to just see what we thought about it. And we really enjoyed it and found it so convenient to be able to go in and listen to some music venue, go back, have a snack and go back in. So that was the first time we started renting them. And then we realized we really wanted to get one. So we just got a little 25-foot trailer, and that's what we had for the first 3 years. And we watched all the channels. We watched Keep Your Daydream. We watched Long, Long Honeymoon. We knew nothing about anything to do with black tanks. And I mean, we knew nothing about hitches, you name it. We didn't know anything. And so we learned a lot watching YouTube and gaining all of the information through examples. And it was really nice. We enjoyed it, and we started realizing how much more we wanted to explore.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun period of time when we when initially started out, just because the excitement of going places, and like Jody said, with the music festivals, these are some areas you cannot get a hotel. You can't stay within a some places 50-mile radius, so you need a trailer. And these festivals, we definitely wanted to go to it, and that's what started it all out. Was we just wanted to see these festivals and get to places where they don't have hotels.
Who kind of said, "Hey, what do you think about an RV?" Was it Jody or was it you,
Oh, it's
Ron?
it's definitely me. I'm positive it was me.
Probably because it's she'll put the little seed in. We'll see how it grows, and then yes, I'm more than certain it was her, because she spoke with one of our friends about first, like she said, renting the RV, and then after that it was like, well, I don't want to rent. I'd rather own my own, but let's get something small so that we'll just test it out.
Yeah.
And if this doesn't work, then we're not out too much. And then it just took. We had our trailer for 3 years, and but yeah, it was definitely Jody's idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll give her credit for that.
Well, usually a lot of the things are my ideas, but then he does really great at implementing my ideas. But
See, there you go. It's the yin
come
and
up with
yang.
these, and he's always scared when I say I was thinking. That's like the scariest thing he ever hears is when I go I was thinking. And so that definitely, but I'd say he was the one that brought up going to a Class A, because we did switch over to a Class A motorhome after 3 years of trailer. And that's also a mistake that he can make sometimes, is if he gets me started on something, then it's happening and I'm going full force. So when he mentioned the Class A, we started watching Matt's RV review,
Yep.
another YouTube channel, which
Yep.
we just love him. And to now think that we actually get to talk to him every once in a while. But and he got us going, and we watched him for like 6 months solid on what kind of Class A we wanted.
Yeah, so the evolution of the RV from the trailer kind of came about as, well, one, backing up the trailer. We if you've camped and if you watched anyone backing up a trailer, I would say about 90% of everyone backing up a trailer is screaming at each other, having an argument. And so I want to save our marriage.
Yeah.
Let's quit backing up a trailer and let's get an RV. And
Well, you
life has
actually
been
did-
much better.
You actually did good at it, and it wasn't a big trailer. It wasn't like a big fifth wheel. We had it down to a science. We were getting
Yeah,
good.
we're getting better, but I just want to take that
All
whole
right.
backing thing out of the fact. I just wanted it gone.
So
And
Class
so-
A's and Garmin's, they save marriages.
Yeah.
Is that what you're- yeah. Class A and Garmin, thank you for being marriage savers. I get you. So you guys currently right now are kind of the weekenders, like a lot of us. So any tips or tricks for time saving or whatever it might be so make sure that people are using them and getting out and going.
I think, a good tip would be, well, one, knowing where you're going. What are the facilities? What are the amenities there, as far as there's a grocery store close by? Because ultimately, as a weekender, you just want to get out the door. So you want to look at minimal preparation. And so you look at where you're going. What do I need to just get out the door? We just need clothes. We need maybe some snacks. Are you bringing dogs? Children, what do they need? And so if you're like boondocking, maybe do some meal prep, beforehand, make things easier. But if you just want to get out the door, I'd say just do it. Snacks, clothes, and just go. If you're going to be in a hotel, a tent or something, definitely, if it's a tent, man, RVs, you're going to have to do a little prep work prior. But other than that, just get the minimal basics and then get out the door.
Do you
So
guys
I
keep
have
extra set
a
of
lot of
clothes
bins.
in your
Oh,
trailer?
sorry.
Do you keep an extra set of clothes?
That's what
Yeah.
that's what I was going to suggest. So
Yeah, okay,
what I
tell
was
me.
going to suggest is we have shoes and clothes that we actually keep in the RV all the time. And if I come home and I need to wash them real quick, I'll wash them, but I'll get them right back into the RV. And so those are just our camping clothes, because typically you're going to be out getting dirty, you're going to be out running around. So I keep a lot of clothes in the RV that just stay there, and a lot of shoes that just stay there in the RV. So if you can get away with doing that, that's one I would suggest. The other thing is we have a lot of bins that are associated with our camping bins. So we just kind of make sure that they're already always packed up, they're already in there, or they're already really close by to grab in the garage, so that everything is already ready. And I mean, I'm talking the picnic stuff or the barbecue stuff. Everything is already there and ready to go at any time. And then if I can, I just kind of do stuff. I make a lot of lists. My family laughs at me. I make a list for my list. I mean, it's just, I mean,
That's me.
they're everywhere.
That's
Oh
me.
my gosh. And so I kind of have that where I check off all the time. And so if I can do a couple things every day, and like Ron said, like if we can make some freezer meals. Like Ron's great at making frozen burritos, and we pack them up, and we have tons of those ready to go at any time. And they're really easy to reheat as well. But even grocery shopping, like I'll go grocery shopping and I'll stop at the RV and put half the stuff in there and half the stuff in the house, because the RV is ready to go. Because you just never know if you have an opportunity or somebody gets a hold of you and, well,
Hey,
let's
go camp this weekend or whatever. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, let's do it. And weather too, especially in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, you got to go no matter what. You got to learn how to adjust to all weather. But what's nice is you see a beautiful weekend coming your way. It's really good to know that you're already set up. So that's just kind of a goal. We even go and wash the RV or make sure it's gassed up. We kind of do that stuff even if we don't even have a trip planned. We just make sure it's already ready to go. And don't let anything stop you. I mean, I'm really big about that. Just make it happen. Ron and I always laugh about how much prepping we do, because like he said earlier, there are stores. There are stores everywhere. So what do you have to do? Drive 20 minutes, 30, an hour at the most, but you can go to a store to pick up what you need. There's the Walmarts, there's, the Costco's, everything that you can run to around. So it's just kind of, and everybody has their general stores, out in the country, or even at the KOAs, they have a few items. So you'll be fine if you don't have everything you need.
Those are great tips. Let's dig into some adventures now. Where have you guys been rambling around? Let's talk about kind of where's been some of your favorite places you've explored. I know, because I watch your channel. I appreciate that you guys are beer drinkers and always searching out the perfect craft beer place. I love that and appreciate that. And I'm like, I got to add that to my list next time in that area. But
yeah, certainly.
Yeah, tell me about some of your adventures.
Well, actually, on that note, yes, if you watch our channel, that's what's important to me, is I want people to know that they can email us, anything, anytime, because we've lived here, like I said, our entire lives. And now we're going back to places that we love. So like when we went to Mount St. Helens, that's a place that we've grown up around. Ron and I both remember when it blew up. We both were affected in different ways when it blew up. And we literally lived, we had floods, we had the ash all over us. We remember it very well.
Pause real quick. Sorry.
Oh,
because I was in Pullman when Mount St. Helens blew up.
And you got a lot of ash.
Where were you guys at the time when Mount St. Helens blew up?
We were literally 30 miles from it.
Well, we were east, we were southwest of it in Cowlitz County.
Kelso, Longview.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so everything, went east. When it blew, everything went east. So we just got minimal ash at the time.
We were buried.
What we had was flooding. Our river flooded so we were all evacuated from our homes. We remember being evacuated from our homes, pure panic and chaos. Everywhere. And we had to wear masks you probably did too. We had to wear masks and stuff. So those were our first experiences wearing masks as children. Right. And Ron has a great story, because he actually his mother was dating someone who was a pilot and liked taking photos. So Ron got to ride around in a small plane around Mount St. Helens.
Yeah. So that day, May 18th, I was a kid, and I still remember to this day, it was a single engine aircraft. It was like a little Cessna. And, we went up flying, of course, on the west side of the mountain when it was blown. This is May 18th. So, and it was still blowing. It probably blew for, I don't know, maybe 12 hours or 14 hours. And so we flew around that west side. He was taking photos while flying the plane. And I still have those photos to this day. And, it was a heck of a ride. But, we got a bird's eye view of all the debris going down the river, choking the rivers and the logs and the silt and ash sediment and everything. It was, it was pretty, it's pretty wild.
All right. So anyway, sorry. I love I've never been, actually, and I'm embarrassed to even admit that. So that every year it gets higher and higher on my list of places I need to go see. So
Oh, yeah.
born and
Yeah.
raised
I mean, so much has
Washingtonian, and I've
changed.
never been to Mount St. Helens.
We have been exploring all of the old places that we always have been to our whole lives, especially along the coast. We love the Oregon and Washington coastlines. Those are just some of our favorite memories as children going there. And then also when we were first together, we used to date and run to the coast all the time. But then we started exploring other areas that we've never explored before. And last year, I was totally surprised. We both love history because we finally went to a place that you wanted to go explore up in the Dry Falls area.
Oh, right. Yeah. So Eastern Washington, that's probably, it's one of my favorite locations. I like the high desert east of the mountains, the Cascades. And in Washington in particular, you got the Scablands and the Grand Coulees and a whole bunch of coulees around in that area that were created by just these enormous catastrophic floods that just scoured everything down to the basalt. And they're really, truly impressive. Just like Steamboat Rock is a great one where you can hike to the top of it. And it's just this giant basalt table in the middle of the river, and you can see for miles all around when you get to the top. The viewpoint is breathtaking because you just see the catastrophic damage done where these enormous floods came through, and that's what created, you had the Grand Coulee Dam there that created all the
Oh, yeah. Grand Coulee Dam surprised me because I didn't know. Like, it's actually bigger than Hoover Dam. It's not taller, but it's actually larger than Hoover
Right.
Dam. I never knew that. So, here we are. We drive down and we got to do a tour there. It's free actually to tour it. You just sign up ahead of time. But when we first started driving down into it, I was caught off guard. I was like, wow, I never knew this
It
was
was,
here.
yeah, it was really impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was in Electric City, Washington. You can do the tour for free. You have to sign up, make sure you get there in advance. But that structure at one time was the largest concrete structure in the world. And then China outdid us with their Three Gorges Dam, which is now the largest concrete structure in the world. But now it's, at least in the Western Hemisphere, we can still have the claim to fame. And it is, like Jody said, it's not taller, but it is larger with the amount of concrete that was used into construction of the dam.
So cool.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is
And they
so
have this
cool.
neat little light show. I mean, I don't know. Ron always goes, "You're so easily entertained." But I kind of am.
Thank goodness for me. Pressure's off on me.
I was surprised I heard about the nighttime light show, and I loved camping at Steamboat Rock, by the way. I thought that was a wonderful campground. I really liked that campground so much. We would grab our inner tubes and go down into the water all day for the couple days we were there. But then I said, we got to drive back at night. I think of about a 20-minute drive, maybe longer. I want to see this light show that they have. And I mean, I can tell it was probably created a long time ago, but it was just kind of neat because it was just something also free that, the kids go and you get to sit there with as a family. And all of a sudden, all the water starts flowing at night. And then that's what the screen shoots off of all the water flowing down. And it was entertaining, but then it was also very educational. Like I learned a lot. It was kind of a fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a fun experience.
So where's a place that you haven't been to in Washington and or the Pacific Northwest that's on your list of places that you want to go see?
I think more northeast, probably more the eastern side, like
Painted Hills.
that's
I'm thinking Oregon.
yeah,
I've
that's
never been
but
to
Painted
in,
any
but
of
in
Hills are on
those.
like
my
Washington, you have like maybe in the Spokane area, we really haven't explored that area, like the northeast section and the
Yeah.
north or the and then the southeast section as well. I was looking at a map of small tangent, but I was looking at a map of wolf packs in Washington, and I was looking at forested areas and densely forested areas in Washington, and it kind of intrigued me with the Walla Walla area, and then with the Spokane area as well.
Well, Walla
Yeah.
Walla, you get vineyards too. So I mean,
Oh,
it's a
yes.
twofer.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah. I want to go explore. We still haven't been to Crater Lake. I'm like, I can't believe we've never been to Crater Lake. So that's like big
Yeah.
on my list because I'm kind of
Okay.
like surprised we haven't been there. And like Painted Hills,
Yeah,
just
Painted
looks
Hills are on my list
yeah,
too.
yeah, that
that's-
looks just so different. Really, and then we want to get back to places like we want to show everybody more areas around Mount Rainier, the San Juan Islands, Friday Harbor. We
Yeah,
used to
that's
explore that area years ago. Predominantly we RV, and predominantly we're still in the Northwest a lot, Pacific Northwest.
yeah.
But every once in a while we do like to what we call our quick getaways, hop in a vehicle and just go. And
Yeah.
we like exploring different hotels and lodges and things like that too. So So we're kind of tied between doing the San Juans with an RV or without. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, the Jeep top down in August would be pretty sweet too. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
not
it
gonna
is.
lie. Favorite brewery that you've explored in the
Oh,
Pacific Northwest?
Oh gosh,
I know.
that's so
Okay,
touch.
fine. You can give me top
You
3.
can't
You
do
can give
that
me
to
top
us.
3.
I'm sorry, what?
You can give me top 3. I'll be
Okay, so
kind. I'll be kind.
so the way I look at it, so I'll speak for myself.
Okay.
Now, so when I want to have a beer, it's like, what kind of beer am I in the mood for?
Right.
And so I know what brewery I need to go for that beer, and so that's a factor. But some of our favorite breweries are like little nano breweries that specialize in sours. But then on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have these like down in Bend, you have 10 Barrel Brewing,
Yeah.
this enormous, the structure here, and it's a beautiful facility. It's huge, and it has some of the best beers as well. And when we were there last year in Bend, we sampled, we did a taster tray, and we sampled 15 beers, and all of them are awesome. And so it's dependent upon your mood. Do I want like a sour? Do I want an IPA? Do I want a pale ale? Do I want a porter, stout, alt,
I
Kolsch,
will
whatever it is?
I will say I do not meet a lot of sour drinkers. I like sour beers.
Oh, he loves them.
I love a good Flemish red sour. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I love a good sour. And yeah, I mean, they're not when I'm on a session by the campfire and sit around a campfire and, shoot the breeze with people and like be nursing a sour the whole time. I'm a
Right.
1 or 2, usually with a meal, and I'm done. But I love sour.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, they have, there's such a wonderful variety out there, and you got the sours and and the goses, and there's not too many I haven't not liked. And then I don't know if you have ever tried like they have a pickle flavored one, a gosa, and it works. And
Cool.
it,
Okay.
In Hood River,
yeah, it's
slap the pickle. Is that
it
what
was
it's
called Slap the Pickle Gosa from Freebridge Brewing in the Dalles, Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of all
Okay.
places. Yeah. But that is really tough because I'll tell you, we love Harvest Host as well. We are
Yeah.
big Harvest Hosters. We have been Harvest Hosters for over 6 years, and we actually have stayed at several breweries overnight. I would suggest anybody who loves breweries, who also enjoys wineries, vineyards, and is an RVer, really look into that because there's several of them across. I mean, we've stayed at many wineries actually too. I would say Bend because there are so many different breweries, and we did a video where we visited 25 or 27 breweries.
28
breweries
Nice.
within 5 days.
within 5
Nice.
days, 28 breweries, and we drank at all of them. We walked, we stayed in a downtown Bend at an RV place where we could walk to all these. And it was fantastic. Some of my favorite ones in there, I've always been a little bit of a fan of Crux, probably for
Yep.
the environment as well. And we've been going there for so many years.
Their IPA is really delicious.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the future. What's kind of your plans? What are you guys thinking? What's on the horizon for you?
Well, we're leaving in a week, and I'm really excited. We are heading, we're going to, of course, go by Sisters in Bend because we have to, So, I love Sisters Three Creeks Brewery.
Yeah,
by the
Three
way.
Creeks Brewing.
Okay.
Have a
Nice.
chocolate pine porter there that we're going to be drinking.
So we like that area. We're going there. We're going to hit several hot springs throughout Oregon. I'm excited to share different hot springs. And then we're going to head to Boise, Idaho. Great beer
Okay.
scene there.
Yeah.
And there's so much to do there. We're really excited to do some hiking around there. Boise, I really started looking into that. We've not been to Boise, and there is a lot going on. So I'm excited to share that. We're going to Craters of the Moon. I don't know if you know about that area. Oh, I'm really excited to go stay there. But we're hitting the big hitters. We're going to Yellowstone and we're going to the Grand Tetons. So we're going to go out of the Pacific Northwest. Finally, we went to Redwoods last year and some other places, but we're going to go explore those areas for the next 3-4 weeks. But we're going to do that, and we're going to keep doing that for the next couple of years. And then as soon as we retire, we are off. We are going to go all the way through the whole East Coast and Midwest.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, I could, with working, I'm limited to maybe, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time. I think last year I took a month off, and this, September, it'll be about 3 weeks. And so, of course, you're limited to how far you get to go.
Right.
And generally, I think it's about 1,000 miles. We'll go out about 1,000 miles
Okay.
and back.
We're going full time. We know that. It's just a matter of I'm very much a planner and getting our ducks in the row and making sure that we have, everything to go. So, but we're looking forward to going full time. It's not even a question. It's just about like when is the best time. But until then, we're gonna, keep
Keep
going.
rambling.
Yeah, we have 2025 plan. I mean, we're going to head up to Canada, Alaska. We're going to head, so we got a lot of plans coming up as far as what else we're going to explore. There's so much. And the one thing we actually say to each other a lot when we're sitting around in our Class A and we're watching all the other families in their, in their RVs is we should have done this earlier and sooner when we had the kids, because we didn't do this. Our children are both grown. And so we didn't do this when they were younger. So I say that to a lot of people. And actually, we had a really nice talk with a younger couple just recently. And we said the same thing, that if you want to do whatever you can to make it happen, because that time with the kids is so quick. And I mean, unbelievably quick.
Yeah.
And so I'd say that was the one thing I really wish we would have done more RVing when the kids were little. That would have been a lot of fun. You're kind of forced to really get out in nature. A lot of times you don't have service, and I'm happy when we don't have service.
Me too.
I haven't
Me
made
too.
the move yet to make sure that we have service everywhere, because I find it a gift when I look over and it's like, we have no service. That is the greatest gift sometimes.
Then my phone just becomes my camera, and that's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I wish we would have done a lot of that earlier. So if people are really struggling with that and trying to figure it out, I mean, time is really short with the kiddos, and RVing is a lot of fun for the family.
Yeah, you just can't wait for the perfect day, the perfect rig, perfect everything. You just have to go out there and do it. And real boats rock. So there's going to be a few issues along the way. Nothing minor or nothing major. Just go out and do it.
Yeah.
That's and not that we regret it. We had a great time with the kids, but if we're going to do things differently, it would be more of that. Just going out and doing it and being more freestyle. Just get out there and tent camp with the kids a little more. Something.
Well, hey, as we're beginning, I want to wrap up a little bit. Why don't you guys tell us a bit about Just Rambling Around, your YouTube channel, where people can find you guys, follow along, and join you on your journeys?
Yeah, so we got, of course, like you said, we have the YouTube channel, then we're on Facebook, Instagram, we have a website, and that's justramblingaround.com. And
it's Ramblin, Ramblin. There's no G in that.
Yeah. and so, we have those major platforms, and true to its namesake, it's just, that's what we do. We just ramble around. It's not really, there's not a major structure to it. It's just kind of a kinetic video, not necessarily aggressive, but we're just kind of out, just high energy. We're just trying to do things, and that's inherent to being a part timer. Because when you're a part timer, you want to cram as much as you can in your visit, in your trip, in your stay, and so that's conveyed in those videos. Just that that high energy, and and that's true to us. Typically we're always on the move doing something. We're just rambling around.
But one of my goals was, I do want to be known, though, for Pacific Northwest a lot. We just love the area. Like I said, born and raised here. We've lived in other states. We were excited to get back to our home state, just going out and having a good time. That's basically what we are.
Well, Ron and Jody, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Yeah, this was great talking with you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely. Beers.
Very nice.
You can now shoot me a text. Those that have done so already, thank you. Just click on the link in the description right there in your podcast app with this episode. If you have a question about RVing, a topic you'd like me to cover, or if you just want to say hello, please send me a text. Thank you again for listening to RV Out West. I sincerely appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, will you kindly give RV Out West a follow on Facebook and Instagram and join in on the conversation? In next week's pit stop, you know what? I honestly have no idea what I'm going to be talking about. But don't you worry, I've got a week to figure it out, and I promise it's going to be RV related. So stay tuned and be ready. Thanks so much for listening to RV Out West. Join us again next week. Please like and subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you choose to get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. I sure would appreciate it if you left a rating or a review of the show. Special thanks to Scott Holmes Music for providing us the intro song, We Are One. RV Out West can be found on Instagram and Facebook, where you can interact with us and follow along on our RV adventures around the Pacific Northwest. So get out there, explore, and go see what's beyond the horizon.